Okay. So I'm going to go through the low bar first, so I can explain the differences between the low bar and the high bar after. So, you know, with the low bar position, you're going to set your hands just a little bit wide. I would say like about this width. You're going to set your shoulders in a deep press position. Make sure you're nicely retracted. You're going to keep a bit of a forward lean. I'm going to turn with these so you can get a visual of everything that I'm talking about. Okay? The chest, no matter whatever position you do, whether it's high bar, low bar, front squat, pretty much stay static the entire way. Now, again, I'm going to go through it so you can understand what I mean by keeping everything static. Now, there's only going to be a few differences between the low, high bar, or the front squat position, but let's get to both back squats first, okay? So, let me set up with my low bar. I typically have my hands set around here. I push the bar forward to get a really tight position. Keep packing my shoulder blades down. Make sure that it's in between my rear delts, my traps. Look straight ahead. Bit of a lean. The weight is always going to be through the middle of the foot. So depending on where you set your position on the bar, you got to always adjust that. Okay, make sure the bar is still. Get a breath. Over the neck. Down. Drive out. Okay. Now let me turn to the side so you can see what my body looks like. Okay, so this is a low bar position. My feet are going to be slightly outside of shoulder width. Look straight ahead, roll my neck. Make sure that my elbows are pushed down, slightly together. Shoulder blades packed in. Big breath without flaring out. So make sure those ribs are always set down. Big breath. Drive. Drive back up with some speed. Again. Big breath. Set your ribs. Drive. Drop back up. Okay? So let me show you from the front. How that's going to look like. My low bar position. Go straight ahead. My high bar, I'm going to look a little bit higher. I'm going to explain it afterwards. Also, let's transition into the high bar. Okay? Alright, now let me go into the high bar position. Now, with the high bar, it's going to take a little bit more shoulder mobility, and it's going to require the core to work a little bit harder just because you're in a little bit more vertical position. Anytime you go from lean to a more vertical, you want to make sure that the core is super engaged so that you don't break coming out of your squat. Now, you can replicate the high bar position on a safety squat bar also, just as long as you make sure that you maintain the same exact toes position with your high bar when you transition into your safety squat bar. Okay, so now let's go over the high bar position. I'm going to make sure that my hands are slightly inside of where it was compared to my low bar. My stance is also going to be a little bit more inside compared to my low bar position. I'm going to make sure that I keep a nice, solid, rigid torso the entire time I'm doing it without breaking in my toes position. I'll show you. Hands slightly inside. Pushing the shoulder blade down. Weight on the traps. Looking straight ahead and slicing it across. Stance is going to be a little bit more narrow. Eyes a little higher. As you can see with the stance in my torso position, I'm going to need to push my knees forward, so it's going to allow me to get a little bit deeper into my stance. Let me show you the side. Make sure that the traps are nice and tight. Looking straight ahead, slightly above. Look at my torso position. No extra bend as I go down. So typically, you'll see people do a low bar squat with
the high bar position, kind of like this.
That's is always going to be incorrect.
You always want to make sure you're a little bit more upright. Allow those knees to travel forward and push your knees out to get low. Again. Let me show you from the front. Some common mistakes. Well, the biggest mistake that you'll see would be not just bending as you're going down, but bending as you come back up.
Once you do that, you lost the game. You're going too heavy.
You always want to make sure you don't break. Torso does not